Hey guys, how you doing? It's Vaul here, back with the Dawn of War 2 beta, and this is me playing as Eldar against an Orc opponent on the map Vaul Frontier, the desert map here. And this is auto match. This is the find a game function where I've been matched up using my true skill rating against another player, and straight away using the Warp Spider Exarch to head out, and he's got a Warboss heading out with some sluggers here. Now, in terms of my experience with this game, I've played 40 games on the auto match function 1-on-1. I've got 35 wins and 5 losses. On top of that, I've played about half a dozen games against experienced friends like Ultra Simon, Larag Pega, Eso Kimura, so that's half a dozen games there. I've probably played a dozen or so games just against AI to test things out, and I've played maybe half a dozen 3-on-3 games, so I'm getting a bit more experience with this game. As you can see here, the Guardians running away from the Sluggers, and the Guardians really paying for it. The reason why this is happening is because the Sluggers are very powerful in Tier 1. They've got the wire ability, and it stacks with 2 groups of Sluggers. So here he's just boxing in with 2 groups of Sluggers and 1 group of shooters over here, and having to fall back the Guardians. But in the meantime, I'm capping everything on the other side of the map. Now, Tier 1, the plan with Eldar versus Orcs, this matchup really comes down to, well, for me, in my opinion, is just trying to avoid being bashed in close combat by the Sluggers 2-1. So that's why I'm running away with the Warp Spider Exarch and teleporting out. And really just delaying him until I can get some Tier 2 stuff happening, or I can get some upgrades. Now, I am not building any Shuriken platforms this game. I think I need to change my strategy a little bit so it at least incorporates 1 Shuriken platform, but lately I've been going mainly Guardians to hold the enemy off in Tier 1, and because of Guardian grenades, and that really makes a big difference. I'll show you guys in a short while how powerful that can be. But really, what I've been doing is the same thing over and over lately, which is Warp Spider Exarch. There are a number of reasons why he's awesome. I'll go through them eventually. But other than that, just Guardians in Tier 1 with grenades, and then it's just Warp Spiders. Don't really need a Wraith Lord unless I've saved up. But the thing is, with this kind of strategy, you don't have to invest in power nodes and power generators. You just need to invest in Guardians and Warp Spiders, which aren't extremely power heavy. So that actually saves your requisition, because instead of having to invest the requisition in power, you can just invest it in units in quicker Tier 2. So as you can see here, still keeping my units out of close combat. He's continuing to use that wire ability and so forth, but the Warp Spider Exarch just jumps out of the way and keeps shooting them, and the Guardians just keep falling back. So this seems to be a good way to beat Orcs at Tier 1. The Warp Spider Exarch, just good for so many reasons. He's got that group teleport, and you can use that with Banshees or whatever, which is awesome. His little teleport ability is very quick cooldown, and he's got a lot of energy to use with it. Prevents you from losing your hero, and allows you to pick off an enemy hero that's running away. The other great thing about the Warp Spider Exarch is that you can use the Eldar Psychic Might thing to charge up, and once you've got 400, that means you can buy a discount squad of Warp Spiders for 125 requisition. No power involved, and I think that's too powerful at the moment. It's just too cheap. You know, you get it's almost like getting a free squad of Warp Spiders, which isn't fair, because Warp Spiders are such a fantastic unit in the hands of a player that knows how to do a lot of micro. This Warboss really pummeling my building here. He's actually totally smashing it, which is cool to see. With a big model like that, you'd expect the Warboss would do very well, but the Guardians are rushing me to try and defend. Guardians are kind of fiddly, and yes, the Orc player is getting his half of the map, but the real important thing is that I haven't really been dominated by the Orcs yet. I haven't really lost my side of the map, and I haven't lost tons of squads straight away. And throwing a grenade here, watch this. He's moving out of the way here. Gets a few kills, but that grenade is very powerful. You can use it to destroy buildings as well. Somebody asked me about that, and yeah, the answer to killing a group of units in a building, if you're Eldar, is just throw a grenade at it. Very easy. And he's coming in with some flamers, some burner boys, which is very cool. But again, throwing grenades and preventing him from getting into cover and charging really close. So really liking those grenades. They're just so useful in Tier 1 against Orcs and Tyranids and stuff. I had a recent game against a Tyranid player where I just threw grenades and wiped out his mass units. It was kind of fun, actually. It was good times. But yeah, I mean, I've been posting on forums lately about early game emphasis. Some of you guys may have seen my threads on that. It really is true that the game doesn't really go on past the 12 to 15 minute mark very often, and even when it does, it's still capped out at 20 or 30 minutes because of the victory point decay, and you can't really use Tier 3 in this game, which is very unfortunate, because I love the Tier 3 units. I love the Avatar. He looks awesome. He's got 2 great abilities, which I'd love to be able to use effectively. The Fibrism looks really cool. The D-Cannon, I have no idea how you're meant to use that, but it seems kind of pointless to me, because everything that you need seems to be in Tier 2, and I've pretty much hit Tier 2 by now. And it's just a matter of pulling back the map. I've got the victory point in the center, so things going my way. The Orcs are kind of floundering now. Just trying to engage the Warp Spider Exarch, but there's nothing really they can do about that Exarch. He just teleports away as soon as... I love that. The Warboss just smashes the ground with his axe and the Warp Spider isn't even there. Brilliant stuff. It's really fun to watch that, actually. I get some enjoyment out of that. Anyway, he's come in with some Storm Boys, which are like Assault Marines. Very cool stuff, but yeah, they will actually do quite well against the Guardians, mind you. But we're starting to get towards the point of the game where I'm not going to need Guardians as much, and just fleet-footing away, don't need to engage, don't need to throw any grenades, just running away. And really just waiting and waiting for some more requisition. And then it'll be Warp Spider time. And over here, this is, I'm just going to show you guys a really funny way to use grenades. Is this when your opponent isn't really suspecting, and the grenade goes off, bam, takes out the whole unit except for one guy, and it's just the Guardians moving in now to take the one guy out, and he has to retreat. It's a shooter boy there. If your opponent's focused on the other side of the map and you throw a grenade, there's generally nothing he can do. He's just going to lose that unit completely, which is pretty funny. I don't know what this guy's true skill level is, but my true skill level is about 30 on the auto-match system. I have been given some decent opponents, but a lot of people really seem to be on win streaks at the moment. Like, I know there are thousands of people trying to play the Dawn of War 2 beta at the moment, but seems like the top 200 people are just going on massive win streaks, aren't really being pitted against each other, which is what you'd expect, which seems kind of weird. And man, another grenade going off on those Storm Boys. Man, this guy's really suffering due to those grenades. And man, that Warboss is not so accurate with his axe, is he? That's quite entertaining. And finally, Vaul's first squad of Warp Spiders. So this is where the game really turns in favor of the Eldar, because if you just monitor the Warp Spiders and keep on top of them and use their teleport ability carefully, they become very powerful. And one problem with the Warp Spiders is that they have haywire grenades as well if you upgrade the Exarch. And this actually wasn't the best teleport for me. I misplaced that, and unfortunately they came under attack there. But no worry, the teleport timer is quite fast. You get out of there. Unfortunately, the Warp Spiders did take a casualty, and the Storm Boys jumping in down into thin air as well. This is Eldar for you. You know, the Orcs are just totally confounded by this. But as I was saying, the point I was going to make there is that the haywire grenades actually do damage to vehicles. So not only do you have an anti-infantry squad in the form of Warp Spiders, you have an anti-vehicle squad, and the enemy can't really do too much about it. If the enemy makes a counter to it, apparently I heard that shooter boys with a knob will beat Warp Spider Exarches. Well, you know, that's fine. You just teleport away and then teleport back with either 3 Warp Spider squads or something else. You could even use the mass teleport with the Exarch and a Banshee squad, and that deals with the shooters. Now, I mean, mind you, know, a player might say, okay, well, I make one shooter squad and then something else to really deal with the Banshees. Well, that's fine, but you're really one step behind is the problem. The Warp Spider's always going to be ahead, which really makes them a very good unit. Anyway, he's got a war truck here, so this gives me an opportunity to show you guys just how deadly the Warp Spiders can be against vehicles. In the meantime, I'm going to make a Bright Lancer anyway, just because Bright Lancers is something I don't really have the chance to make very often. Here's the second squad of Warp Spiders as well. Here's the haywire grenade. So that actually does half damage to it and stuns it for a period of time. In the meantime, everybody else is shooting at it, and once I bring the Bright Lance in, that's going to be able to polish it off. Another option is to build a Wraith Lord with a Bright Lance, which is, you know, much more powerful in the field and much more useful overall, but it's a bit too expensive. So yeah, more grenades going off. Oh, yawn. Oh, that's what it's like playing 1-on-1 sometimes. It's kind of like, oh man, have I won already? To be fair though, I mean, I have lost some games in 1-on-1. I lost a micro war against Compiador. He's another very good Eldar player from Dow2b. He was great in Soulstorm. Really look up to that guy's ability against Tau. He was great. And Eldar vs Tau posted some very cool games. I lost a game against a couple of Space Marine players due to making some mistakes. But hopefully I'll get some games against some of the higher players on the ladder and get pummeled. I'm actually hoping that somebody really crushes me in the near future so that I'm forced to rethink my strategy and do something differently. But as you can see right now, I've hit the critical mass of Warp Spiders, everything that comes close, so you can see all the dead bodies in the background, little bits and pieces. And teleporting in with another Warp Spider squad. Here comes the Bright Lance. really just trucking along against the war truck. Pun intended. And yeah, just a matter of throwing more haywire grenades, and you've got it. Warboss is having a crack at this Palno down here. I'm not sure what. Oh, he's decapturing it right now, I think. And 3 squads of warp spiders. That's too many warp spiders, in my opinion. That's just obscene. There's nothing too much the orcs can do about it at this point. And Right Lance is setting up now. Once that thing's ready, it'll start. Oh, bam! Destroys the building with all of the shooter boys in it, and they all die. So that's one way to deal with buildings pretty effectively. Just shoot it with an anti-vehicle weapon or throw a grenade at it, and everything in the building dies. Bam! There goes the war truck. That was pretty cool looking. I really like that explosion there. But I'm going to end the game now because we've almost hit 11 minutes and the game ends in only a couple of minutes' time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed a bit of one-on-one play. I'll bring some more for you soon.